They're not the idealized romantic images of American Indians people were accustomed to. Fritz Scholder created a stir with these paintings in the 1960s.
He painted Indians with green faces. He painted Indians distorted. And that was, it may seem tame now, but at the time that was really startling.
Paul Chott-Smith is curator of the exhibit Fritz Scholder, Indian, Not Indian. The title refers in part to how the artist, who died in 2005, saw himself.
He always was very specific in how he characterized himself, that he was, yes, part Indian, but also part French, English, and German as well. He saw himself mainly as an artist.
The exhibit at the National Museum of the American Indian in Washington features more than 100 of Scholder's paintings, sculptures, and prints. The works span more than 4 decades, starting from the late 1950s. Most are of American Indians. Although it was his signature subject matter, he did not come to it easily, as he noted in a 1975 documentary.
When I first came to Santa Fe, I was painting landscapes, but I realized that everyone else was painting the Indian. And so I vowed that I would never paint the Indian.
That was in 1964, but 3 years later, Scholder changed his mind when he saw that no one was painting Indians as they lived then. His decision to do so was controversial.
To show Indians in the 20th century, to show Indians in a car, to show an Indian drinking a can of beer, all of that was subject matter that was off limits until Scholder and his colleagues began to change how Indians were represented.
Scholder's paintings can be whimsical. He often drew on historic, traditional images, a photo by Edward Curtis, for example, but with an added twist. Here, an ice cream cone replaces a traditional dancer's rattle. Art galleries eventually warmed to his work, but his decision to show modern Indians grappling with personal demons, a drunken Indian staggering down a sidewalk, for example, was not widely embraced.
Most Indians at the time hated it at first, and many still do. My mother still hates Scholder's work and wouldn't come to the show except that I was curating it. He's still very controversial today, 3 years after his death.
Yet Fritz Scholder is also widely regarded as the artist who changed forever the way American Indians would be portrayed. Susan Logue, VOA News, Washington.